I know y'all was like, where is the real money coach? Where y'all at? Listen, we had some technical difficulties tonight, but listen, where there's a will, there is a way. We are live on Thursday night, and I'm excited about the show. Some of you are probably just waiting, wondering if we're going to be on. Listen, I hope that you've gotten the notice that you know that we're live. We're coming at you. If you're a subscriber on YouTube, I know you probably got it that we're live. If you're in the Facebook group or what have you, you probably see that we're live. But if you are there and you are listening and you got me, you can hear me, you can see me, put it in the chat box. Say, I hear you, I see you, right? Tell me where you're calling from, where you're watching from. We are excited as always. Can you believe it that it's already September? It is already September 2021. Wow, where has the time gone? We are in the 9th month. And yes, thank you, Alice Martin. Thank you, Ruth Bell. Thank you, Bonita Harris. Thank you, everybody who's out there. Listen, do me a favor. Text somebody, call somebody, Facebook, share it on your Facebook page. Hit that share button. Let everybody know that we are here, that the Real Money Coach is live, and we're going to be coming at you strong for the next 45 minutes. And you want to be a part of this. Thank you, Timothy Day, for letting us know from Durham, North Carolina. Thank you, my brother. Listen, it's going to be an awesome show. It's going to be an awesome show tonight. And I can't wait for you guys to meet our special guest. Man, just a really, really awesome person. And so really excited about it. We're excited about that you are with us. And so we are going to bring on our co-host right now. We're going to bring on Miss Michelle Mitchell. Michelle, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Tony?
Good. Listen, we got a lot of rain the last couple of days, but we dry. The sun was shining today. So
nice.
It's all good. It's all good for sure. So Michelle.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the news, right? Mm-hmm. One of the things that I wanted to just kind of talk about before we bring our guest on is I wanted to talk about this thing with the Social Security. Have you read much about that or saw that on the news?
No, I have not.
They just announced on Tuesday, and here's the headline: Social Security to run out of money sooner than expected.
No way.
Yeah. Here it is, right here. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Look, out of money.
Are we surprised?
We're not surprised.
No.
And one of the things is that I've been saying that for a long time in my presentations and everything that, with COVID and everything that's happened there, that, we're anticipating, my question has been this: where's the money going to come from?
Right.
When you have 50 million people who have filed for unemployment in 2020, 50 million people filed for unemployment. And then on top of that, you have all these people who turn age 65, baby boomers, people born between 1946 and 1964. Though that group of individuals, citizens, are actually turning 65 at a rate of 10,000 per day.
Per day. Yep.
So the question is, that my question always is if you have that type of situation where there's that many people who are turning 65, you got so much less money actually going into the Social Security trust fund, where's the money going to come from?
Right.
And that's really trust fund. I got something going on here.
Where's the money going to come from?
Oh,
my goodness.
probably got Facebook open.
That's really hurting me. That's really
Wow. Okay, we got something going on there, but yeah. So
Yeah.
where's all that money going to come from?
Right. Yeah, you got less people depositing into the system. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And so then, we're kind of in trouble there, right?
Little
And
bit.
so now the question becomes, how are they going to bail out Social Security?
Mhm.
Because I'm one that firmly believes that they're not going to let the Social Security system fail.
Mhm.
I mean, just from a logic standpoint,
Mhm.
you're talking about, if you look at Congress and look at the demographic of most of them are drawing Social Security themselves.
Right. Exactly.
So I kind of, I'm just kind of like, the simple thought is, if they're drawing Social Security themselves, then how do you think they're really going to just end it?
Yeah.
And I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that they are going to bail it out.
Mhm.
And when they do that, where's that money going to come from?
Right. Yeah.
Uh,
Because as you stated, was it last week about the national debt clock?
yeah,
Yeah. So, yeah, where is it going to come from?
right. And so that's my question.
Mhm.
And so, it's kind of a grim picture. And
Mhm.
then the other thing that, for me, that we need to talk about, and I think it's slipping a lot of people, is the whole debt ceiling thing. Because
Right.
the
Yes.
debt ceiling, ran out at the end of June or July.
Mhm.
And so now, unless something goes, unless Congress does something, I think they put a patch in place now so that, the government can function until December.
Right.
But after December, what's going to happen then?
Right.
And, that's the thing that I think that we have to just kind of watch these events and, just make sure that, we're on top of things.
Yeah. Right.
And so interesting times for sure.
It is very interesting times.
Very
Which
interesting.
is why I believe that everybody needs to have a side hustle at least.
Everybody
Right.
needs that.
Everybody need at least a side hustle to supplement these things, because you don't know what's going to happen. You can kind of predict it and expect things, but taxes are going to go up, inflation is going up, food is going up, housing's going. I mean, how much up can you handle?
Right. Right.
With your regular income?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting.
Mhm.
And we'll just have to see what happens.
Right.
So
So let us, the Real Money Coach, just get prepared, right?
let us get prepared.
Yeah.
Let us
Let's
prepare
get prepared.
ourselves. Let us prepare
Mhm.
our people
Mhm.
for this.
Right.
And and that's what it's all about. That's why you coach your clients. That's why
Mhm.
we meet with people and we do the things that we do, is
Mhm.
because we want to be prepared and we want to be able to make sure that our people are in the best position possible
Right.
going forward.
Yeah.
So pretty awesome. Well, listen, I think it's time. I really want to bring our guests on tonight. Super powerful story she has that she's going to share with us. Her name is Janice Jackson. No relationship, by the way. But Janice is a client, and I think she's going to share a little bit of her story with us, and what her life has, some unusual twists that we normally don't go through. So very, very powerful story. So without any further ado, let's bring on to the screen Miss Janice Jackson.
Good
There
evening.
you. Good evening. How you doing?
Dennis. Good.
You doing well?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Doing okay.
Well, I do want to say this. When I spoke with you maybe about 2 weeks ago, um, you talked about, okay, I'll come on the show, but I forgot today's your birthday.
That is
And
it.
you're spending your
Happy birthday.
birthday with
Thank
us. I think that's very special. So I think everybody in the chat box ought to tell Miss Janice Jackson, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Now I'm not gonna try to sing, okay? I'm gonna spare y'all that. But we do want to wish you happy birthday and thank you for spending, your special day with us.
I appreciate you.
So what
Thank
I want to do is I want to just take a few minutes and just for you to tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you grew up, all that type of good stuff, and then we'll just kind of take the story from there.
Okay. Well, I was born and raised in Jamaica. I say that because my parents are from Jamaica. So, um, I'm currently working for CMS. You see me?
Yeah, we see you.
My first time doing this, so you all bear with me. What else I have? Most people know me by my children because I call them the troops, and I take them everywhere. And there's not really much to say about me. You say these great things about me, but that's just a simple person. Just a mom, go to work, school. But I'm from Boston. I've been living here in Charlotte since 2013, I believe.
Okay.
So it's been several years now. Time's kind of going by.
Goes by fast, doesn't it?
It does, faster than I can count.
Yeah. So tell me, how many children you got?
4.
4. And what are their ages?
Rebecca is 21.
Okay.
And Hannah's 19. Stella is 17, and little man's 13.
All right. Little man's 13.
Yeah.
So you got a couple in college right now and all that good stuff.
Yes, I do. Rebecca is actually graduating this year from Wake Forest. So this is her last year there. Hannah's a sophomore over at Chapel Hill. And Stella's graduating this year too. So next year is going to be kind of busy around here.
Yeah. We know all about that, don't we, Michelle?
Yes, we
The
do.
graduations, kids in college and all that kind of stuff. And you do really have a lovely family. So so you work for CMS, and I kind of want to just get into a little bit about how you and I met, and then we just kind of take it from there. So okay. I think I remember. Do you remember?
I remember.
Okay.
I think I met you after we did the R400 conference.
Yes, we met at the R400 conference. And for those of you who are listening, the R400 conference was conference that was held by the Park Church. So we want to give a shout out to the Park Church. Bishop Claude Alexander's the pastor there. And so what had happened is, well, you probably don't know this part of the story, but what had happened was Marlon had met Bishop Alexander. They were at a conference together. And then we introduced Bishop Alexander and Dr. Frazier together. And so then Bishop Alexander came to Houston for the PNC conference. And I kind of hosted him when he got there, and we had a chance to eat and what have you. And so in return, Bishop invited Dr. Frazier to come to the R400 conference. And that's when we did the workshop. So, and I think that's where we initially met, was at that workshop. Mm-hmm. You remember much about the workshop?
I remember much about the workshop. Matter of fact, when what was very interesting about the workshop was the $1 Million Baby topics that Dr. Frazier had discussed. And I had to be honest with you that that was more interesting to me than the insurance, but the insurance tied into everything with that. And besides too, I wanted to see Dr. Frazier because I had his book since I was in college and I never really met him before. And so it was really good to be there and even introduce my children to him. So that was really a blessing.
Yeah, because I think I remember you saying that his book, Success Runs in Our Race, that you had that book. And I think that you may have had it from college or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But I know you had the book. And so Dr. Frazier was there. And for those of you who don't know, and I mentioned this earlier, I may have mentioned it, that September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. So this is our kickoff show for Life Insurance Awareness Month. And so $1 Million Baby is a concept where we're using cash value IULs to take the little ones and really make them millionaires by the time they hit retirement. And so that is a concept that Dr. Frazier has this initiative to create 1 million $1 Million Babies. And so that was the goal there. And so so that's what we were about. And he did a little part of the workshop, and then I did the second part of the workshop. So that's where we initially met. And then at that workshop, I think you filled out a card, if I remember correctly.
Card.
Yeah, and what was the purpose of the card? Was to get.
Well, I wanted to find out more about it, and I did want to get life insurance. I mean, when I was younger, I remember my mom and my dad, they had actually my dad didn't have a life insurance policy, to tell you the truth. And when he passed, that kind of left my mom in a hole. So my mom got a whole life policy at that time, which it wasn't much, but it took care of what we needed to take care of for her. And I had for myself a term policy, but funny thing, when you're going through life, especially young, I thought I could, go on forever. So I'm like, I don't really need this right now. I'm just going to save my money myself and take care of my own things. And that was that until I went to R400. And at this point now I have college age children. I have the house, the cars, and I'm married. And so we, after talking with the hubby and stuff, we decided we wanted to find out more about it and start making some preparations, although it's a little late, but we wanted to still be open as far as having other resources available to us and start doing some estate planning.
Yeah. And that's so typical. What we have is when we're young, we kind of think, oh man, I'm not going to need this for a very long time and all those types of things. And so you guys decided you wanted more information. And what happened is I think there was a couple people from our team at the R400 conference, and some of them took some cards. I took some of the other cards. And then I actually had given my cards to my assistant, Del Ryan, and she called and set up an appointment for us to speak. And I then showed up at your house one evening for that appointment.
I don't remember if I met you first. I think I met you first to find out more. You came back and met Jay before, but I don't know. Everyone on here, Brother Jackson, this is practically the first time that I really talked about anything in a couple of days, so you're gonna have to bear with me. It's been, I don't know. It's like can't really say it's sweet. It's kind of bitter, to tell you the truth, because just when you came to the house, we were doing our estate planning and looking at all the living benefits and stuff that you had to offer with the life insurance. And
one of the things that stood out to me when I came and I met with you guys is that you gathered your kids together and we were sitting in the kitchen, and you had your kids come and sit and listen to the presentation too, because you wanted them to learn. And I think that's a great lesson for us as parents and that type of thing, is to expose our kids to some of the education and different things that are out there. And that's one of the things that always stands out to me, is that you really wanted your kids to learn. And so I thought that was pretty awesome. And so
I told her when she starts making that money, she needs to come and see you.
I appreciate that. And so, again, I just want to thank you for coming on and willing to share your story. And, it's really special to me that this is the first time that really you've done it. And so the way I remember it, we came in, we sat at the table, and I don't know, maybe it was a second appointment, but then Carlton came and he sat down with us, and we talked a little bit about life insurance for the family. Mm-hmm. And that particular night, the other thing is that you guys took action. And because Carlton didn't have any insurance, you guys decided that you would start his policy first. Do I have it right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I had a policy through my job. So
you had a policy through your job.
So we were trying to stick with the budget, and then next month I came on. So
correct.
Oh no. But Brother Jackson is just, so he had his policy. So, I mean, you were able to work with us where we were at. So it worked. But again, I was saying, when we initially signed up, we were trying to calculate in our the living benefits and to see what we can use, when we can use it, how much years we have if we put this much away. And everybody who knows me, I know you all don't really know Jay. Jay is, I don't know, I met him, like 10 years? We've been together for a bit. I met him in 2010. And he always wanted to do things for his, for the family. And so he was really big on family. And so we did a lot of stuff together. And although he was, he worked real hard. That man worked, and he was like a miracle worker. He could put two sticks together and make something out of it that I wouldn't even. I'm like, what is that? But he did his thing. He was such a humble spirit, But
yeah, and I remember he very hard worker, right? Very hard worker. And I remember you saying that he was, could build anything, right? Yeah. So how did you guys meet?
We met in Jamaica. He was actually a friend of my cousin that I visit every summer. And the summer I met him, he was actually Jay's a carpenter by trade, that's what he learned when he was in school. But this summer he was there. A truck had passed my cousin's house in Jamaica and tore down the electric pole. So Jay was there, casting the, what do you call it? Casting the iron to put I might not even be saying the right terms, but
like the hole, the cement to put the pole back in. Okay.
Yep, and frame it up so the concrete could go in there and put up the pole, because down there they put up. You have to be responsible for putting your own pole. Here we put up our Duke Energy comes and puts the. There you have to put up your light pole. Then an electric company will come and make the connection. But I met him that summer. I mean, we just were friends at that point and stuff. We didn't really start. I probably started to, I don't know, a friendship just turned into something beautiful. And
that's wonderful.
2017.
All right.
All that stuff. I just had to show. But
and so fast forward, we are in, I think that was probably 2019. 19, I'm at your house. We decide to get some coverage for Carlton Jay, right? So we decided to get some coverage for him. And then I think once it got all issued and everything, I came back a month later and we did a policy on you. And what I remember that evening is that he was there and I gave him a policy and he signed the papers and all that kind of stuff. And then he was off to the barbershop. He had to take your son to the barbershop. And so then we finished up and wrote a policy for you. Mm-hmm. And so And I think it was probably late October. Well, the R400 was in October, so this was probably mid-November, probably right before Thanksgiving.
R400 was in that September when
Okay.
started. I know so when did you come over to do the policy? Probably in October,
Yeah,
November.
because I think that when I came back, I remember that you guys were going to be traveling. I think you were planning on traveling to New York for the holiday,
We
for
did
Thanksgiving.
actually to visit my family. So
Yeah, so it was right around that time.
yeah.
So again, just beautiful family. You guys were a great couple, easy to talk to and work with. And so then, Janice, if you can share, kind of talk us to what happened over those next few weeks after.
Well, I don't even think it was a month. Was it a month after we started processing everything?
It was less than a month.
And we went to Boston and came back. And I don't know, we just we were making our plans for the holidays and stuff and getting ready for my daughter to come back from college. And he Jay came home that evening and was baking. He loved to do things. One thing I can say, he never sleep for some reason. Cause I went to bed before him that night, and when he came home that evening, we sat on the porch and we were just talking about the decorations and if he liked them or not. And he was telling me how I need to put more lights here and there, and talking about what he wanted to do for his big daughter before we picked her up. So that night he decided he was going to bake. Now,
Okay.
just came from work and he leaves at what 5:15, 5:30 in the morning to get to work for 7. So I went to bed before him that night because he was waiting he made his sweet potato pudding from scratch.
Okay. I
He
didn't
was,
know it was a baker too. I mean, he could build
he was
something and cook. I mean, come on.
he could cook, and he's the one that taught Christian how to cook actually. But Christian loves being in the kitchen. And I don't know. That next night, the next morning, he got up to go to work, and I would have never thought really that I was I don't know. Like I said, because Jay was 42, healthy, strong, and I don't know, something when we woke up that morning and I started it was raining and I asked him if he wanted me to drive because we were still looking for a vehicle for him at that time because he wanted a truck. And he didn't want us to lease or anything. So we were saving up for him to just buy the car cash because he doesn't really like debt like that either. So
Okay.
and he still wanted to take the transit to work. And so when I got to work, I saw that there was a message, but I didn't pay any attention to it because it was an odd number. But I had a break in that day, and when I checked the messages, his supervisor was left a message that Jay didn't come to work, and so he didn't. I'm thinking because when he leaves at 5, that morning he left at 5:22 because that's what time the alarm was had disengaged according to what I was looking on my log, and I'm like, he should have been to work by now. And I was hoping and praying that he didn't get jumped, but I would have never imagined that. I don't know, I just remember it. I know would have never imagined that when the officers came to my job, it was like why would they be coming to my job and stuff? Because Jay had in his wallet, he had a picture of himself, and on the back of it, he had my phone number. He had my business card inside of his wallet. I don't know. It's just trying to be positive, but when you're looking at them, like, why does he have all of his stuff in a brown envelope? Because I would have never thought that he would have been gone the way he was gone, because he was supposed to be at work. I thought he was at work, but they say he never made it to work. And again, that was I don't know. Like I said, it was
tough moment
it was
for you to
because you go from everything being perfect to, I don't know, then it's gone. So
yeah.
but I had to really thank and praise God for my church family, because I don't know, you're not really ready for anything like that. And
Well, you know, Janice, I don't think that you ever are prepared for that, and then for something like that to happen suddenly, I think is pretty tough. And to me, I remember when you called me, I was in Birmingham with Dr. Frazier, and a matter of fact, when you called me, you had given me your book of race runs in our or success runs in our race by Dr. Frazier. And you asked me if I would take the book to him and ask him to autograph it for you. And so I was at this conference, and I'd gotten your book autographed by Dr. Frazier. And that's when I received a call, and then eventually the call from, your legal counsel to tell me what had happened. And I want to just say to you that I think that you're a remarkably strong Black woman. And I know many of your church members. I know many of your church family, obviously not as many as you do. But I know that, a lot of prayers were going up for you and your family. And you're displaying that remarkable strength even here this evening.
Yeah.
And to God be the glory for your strength, and just to be able to come on and share like you have tonight takes a remarkable amount of strength. And so, and what I want to do is I want everybody to just understand the importance of taking action. And I don't want you to go into any more detail. I don't want you to do that, but just understanding the importance of taking action. And one of the things that Carlton and Janice did that evening I was there is that they took action. And no one would have ever imagined that from the time I met them to about 6 weeks later that he would be gone. And we so often procrastinate. And this is a very important topic. It's a very important aspect of our life. Our financial plan is to make sure that we have life insurance. And so that's why I think there's so much of their family. I think so much of Janice and everything that she's been through, and her strength is pretty remarkable. It's pretty remarkable. And so then, of course, there's a lot of different things that happened because it was such a short period of time that, it took a while for the company to settle the life insurance claim. It took a while for that to happen. And then, of course, we were also dealing with a foreign country and getting medical records and all those types of things. But I am glad that we were able to pay that life insurance policy to Janice and her family. And maybe she can come on and share, some of the things that she shared with me in terms of starting some things in honor of Carlton. I think you're doing some things or you had planned to do something in Jamaica or some other things. But I just wonder, how did that decision in the aftermath did it? And I know it was a long time, and there's a lot of circumstances that we don't want to talk about here tonight, or should talk about. But now that it's settled and that type of thing, you were doing some things in honor of Carlton. So tell me some things that you have planned to do in his honor.
One of the things I wanted, well, in the process of doing, is trying to start the school that he went to in Rekabessa, because he went to school and he learned a trade. He didn't go to college. He was a tradesman, but he was really skilled and such a perfectionist. And I wanted to set up something in his honor at his school for those who go on to study trades, and also in the process of working with the NEAT program. Is called the Grill Education. I'm trying to remember what the acronym stands for, but there's another community organization in the Grill that gives back to families as well. And also just making sure that Jay left 2 children in Jamaica, and just making sure that their schooling and everything that they need is on point, because his son is Jakeesh is 16 now, and they're still struggling with it, and his daughter still, and just being a help to them and putting things aside so that they can have, and just making sure that everyone has what they need going forward.
Yeah, that's awesome to have that mindset that you're going to do something to help others and leave that legacy. Again, man, what an incredible person you are, and to do that. I don't know, Michelle, it's really quite a story to me, and it's one that's really, really special to me. And I tell you, I've been doing this for 24 years, and and this was probably one of the most, as a professional, you be a professional, but this one hit me. I remember,
right.
This one hit me right between the eyes, as well. And so, but wow, you're amazing.
Powerful story about taking action, right? Not, okay, we're going to do it. We'll get the app and we'll do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it, and not put it off, and go ahead and execute the thing, because you never know. You just never know.
No, you never know.
I applaud you for being such a strong woman. I mean, you can see it now, and your children are benefiting from the decisions that you made.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But if I could say anything, it would be, I know a lot of things that life insurance is not one of those things that you would really consider a necessity, to tell you the truth. It seems like we put everything on the expense sheet except for that, because we said we just don't plan it. And I have to tell you, when it comes to Caribbean families, especially Jamaican families, when it comes to talking about life insurance, it's not something that people like to talk about. And if you talk about it, people think you want them to die soon. And it's just not something that people, estate planning, no, we don't really do that. People just kind of figure it out after their loved ones have passed. And it's just, but I try to make sure that I bring all my kids to, when we going through things and we discuss things and what is what and what needs to take place, if this should happen, and what's where and what you need to do. And even down to the point of writing down everything in a little notebook, so they can see who they need to call, when they need to call them, and what they need to expect. But it's just, I don't know, we just, since Jay has passed. We just sit down more, going over things and what they need to do, and who they can call and who they should call, and things like that. But
Yeah, and I think that's important because
Mhm.
sometimes we want to shelter our kids from those things rather than exposing them to them. And this is who you need to call. This is where these important documents are, and all those types of things. It's so important, and you know that better than anyone because of what you've been through. And again, but that was your mindset from the very first time I sat down with you guys.
Mm.
And I remember you called the girls in, you called your son in. This is Mr. Jackson. I want you guys to sit down and hear him explain this. And so that's been your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of us need to have that type of mindset. And so that we can start to create generational change and generational wealth and those type of things. And you guys were concerned about establishing, wealth, money that you could get later. And no one ever, thought that, 6 weeks later, you would be in that position. And then, and I do want to explain to people is like taking action now, because, if something were to happen to you today, if it's within the first 2 years of a policy, it can cause it to stretch out for a while.
Right.
And I know you guys experienced that, and there was some frustration there. Quite honestly, I was frustrated as well, because we're trying to get medical records from Jamaica, and they weren't releasing them, and all these type of things, so that we could prove that everything that Carlton told me on that application was true, that there was nothing being hidden, and ultimately, everything worked out. But just making sure that you properly plan for the unthinkable, and and I'm just again, your family and your children and his children are all very special. And I just again, I just can't say enough how pleased and honored that I am to have served your family, and that you would come and serve other people here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's people who are watching this, and not everybody's in the chat. There's a lot of people that's going to watch this. It's not in the chat. There's going to be replays that go out, and you've opened up and become vulnerable so that others can benefit from that.
Right.
And I think that's amazing.
That is. It's also creating a dialogue where you can, you're able to speak to your family about the subject matter, because none of us want to talk about it, right?
Right.
But we all know it's inevitable. So, breaking down the walls so you're able to talk about it, and exposing your children to the subject matter in a safe way so that they know how, when they get older, the importance of planning and life insurance and things like that, so that it'll impact their family. And that's how you begin the generational wealth, right?
Right.
The knowledge wealth.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely. So listen, we are approaching 9 o'clock already. And what I want to do, Jens, I want to give you your last words, as long as you take your time, whatever you want to say to the audience. And then we'll go off screen, let you do that. And Michelle will come on and give her last words, and then I'll close the show out.
Mm-hmm.
So
I want to thank you for having me on. I don't know. I just want to thank you for even being at that conference, because really and truthfully, that was like the lab. We were going there to build Africa. It wasn't really looking to do much with ourselves, but you helped us to get some things in order, and even taught us a few things. And what I'm glad that I was able to share those things with my daughter, because she's doing some other research, but I think she's going to come to see you and what programs that you have to offer with the life insurance and the living benefits and such. But I'm glad that we did it when we did it, because it's preparing us for things we want to do later. I had just hoping that I'm able to continue to do and work on some things that we had already had in the works, and that I can continue to make sure that they get done. And I don't know why God have me of all people in this position, but I'm going to try my best to hold up the torch. And I guess I should I don't know, all these things. I just want to thank you for all the kind words. Thank you for the help, and just thank you for believing in our community and providing the service that we need. Because although we don't think it's important, really and truthfully is something that we need. And I'm just grateful that we were there, you were there, and that
Great.
that, and I want to say thank you.
Right. Thank you. Michelle.
Yes. So I just want to say thank you to Janice for your story and being vulnerable to share your story, because in the story is where you can capture other people. And maybe they will now take action on the things, because had you not, met with Tony, and had you not actually executed the life insurance policy, what would have happened to the family then? So I hope this is an encouragement to the audience to know that we can have hard conversations with our families, and we can take action. It's doable, and it's doable within your budget. So don't wait.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Michelle. That's pretty important. And you're right.
Mm-hmm.
We can do it in your budget.
Right.
And so I want to thank Janice for coming on. I also want to, at this time, thank you for, because I think I initially contacted you a few months ago to get permission to share the story in my book. Mm-hmm. And so I want to thank you for that. You got a free copy coming. So, but I do want to thank you for just allowing that and allowing your story to help other people. Mm-hmm. And it's not really all this ultimately, folks. It's really not about Michelle. It's not about Janice. It's not about Tony. It's about doing what's right. It's about the kingdom, right? It's about doing the things that we need to do so that we can take care of our family. And when I first started in insurance, I remember always telling people, that, even when Jesus was on the cross and he looked at John and said, "Behold thy mother," he was concerned about what would happen when he left. Mm-hmm. And really the reason why we buy life insurance in its purest form. Now, you mentioned a couple of times living benefits, so I must have drilled that home, right? So we got the living benefits, we got cash value, we got all these different things, term versus whole life, and yada 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 yada. The in its purest basic form, it provides a death benefit for when that time comes, whether it's sooner or later. That's it at its purest form. And so the first thing we need to do is make sure we have coverage, make sure it fits into our budget, and then we can talk about all the other different things. Mm-hmm. And, I just want people to know that even if obviously you guys know that I provide it, but even if you don't get it from me, get it from someone, somebody. And so, again, remarkable evening. You were strong through it. And so I'm really humbled to be in a position where we serve people. And I tell people sometimes, and I tell new agents this, is that we're really servants, and we have to have a servant's heart. And when we remember why we do what we do, that is what's important, to remember why we do what we do, not to ever forget our why. And when I talk to Janice and when I share their story, when I get text messages or she comes on the show, puts something in the chat, it's a reminder of why we do the things we do. And so love your family, love your significant other, make the right decisions in terms of your finances, whether we're talking about your budgeting, your credit, your debts, and even things like life insurance and retirement. So that's what we're about, a Real Money Coach, really about serving and prayerfully, you guys know my heart and know that's why we do what we do. And Janice, thank you for the reminder. Thank you for the transparency, and thank you for your display of strength. So I'm Tony Jackson. This is the Real Money Coach. It's been another great episode. God bless you. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Get vaccinated. All that stuff. I know that's a controversial topic, but anyway, I'm just telling you what I did. All right. So God bless you. Have a wonderful evening. Have a safe Labor Day holiday this weekend. And again, just be safe. God bless you. Have a good night.